Morning everyone, welcome to another video. Today is going to be pretty interesting. The first thing that we did, I actually woke up at 3 this morning, started baling in the field at 3:30. That's because we've been waiting for some dew to get on the straw so that we can actually bale it. In the heat of the afternoon, the straw is actually too dry, and as soon as it gets into the baler, it pulverizes, turns to dust pretty much, and just falls out the bottom of the baler. So I was driving sometimes 20 minutes just to collect enough straw to make a single bale. I collected, maybe enough straw for 2 or 3 bales, but it all fell out. So we've been struggling with that. So I'm gonna get baling again here because the swaths are still kind of dewy. They're a little tougher and we're able to bale it. But the other interesting thing about today is Dad is actually on his way to pick up a second round baler, and it is an exact twin to this baler, except it's the Case brand. So a lot of people know it's actually CNH, which is Case New Holland, and those are two sister companies. A lot of their machines are actually the exact same, they're just painted different color. So now we're gonna have a Case baler as well as the New Holland baler. This is the BR 7090 baler, and that thing's gonna be the exact twin. This baler, Dad bought new maybe 10 or 15 years ago now, and we've put, I think, 16,000 bales on it. The baler he's picking up today is still under 10. Should be a nice baler. Looking forward to get that on the yard. We're gonna get baling some more bales this morning with this one. Made it out to the second field this morning. I made the first bale. I'm gonna moisture test this thing, see if it's good to go or not. 36, 30, 30. 30 is definitely too high. That's way too high. There's always the classic manual way of testing if your straw is ready to bale or not, and that is just doing the hand test. You can feel it. This stuff is pretty tough, but if you wring it out and it all breaks up super easily, then it's definitely dry enough to bale. You guys can see I'm wringing away and it ain't breaking up. So this stuff is way too tough right now to be out here baling. Gonna have to give this stuff a little bit more time this morning. Well, right here behind me is the new baler that we got. I believe it's a 2007, and it's got just under 10,000 bales on it, so pretty good condition. It's really clean and it just looks like a good machine. It was well taken care of. It was never parked in the shed, but whoever owned this thing definitely kept it clean. It is pretty much identical to our previous New Holland baler, so it's still got the net wrap in the front here. If we open this up, that's where the roll of net wrap goes on, and then these rollers for actually applying the net wrap to the bale. The steps the same, everything. The pickup is maybe a little bit, it looks a little bit different. There's maybe some different shielding. I noticed that shielding at the top is slightly different. The previous guy that was running this baler was running twine, so he still got it set it up. One of these rolls actually has 28,000 feet or 8,500 meters of twine on there. 8 kilometers of twine. I just saw that on the side, pretty crazy, but it's got both options for twine and net wrap, so you can do whatever you want with that. Everything in here looks the exact same. This is a safety for the door. If something happens to your bale, you need to go in there and shovel a bunch of straw out, whatever it be. This is a safety, so you open it up all the way, engage that, and it's going to prevent that door from slamming down shut on you. It's a huge safety thing for balers, and they work pretty good. At the back here, we have the storage for the extra roll of net wrap, same as on the New Holland. I love that thing. You just open the 2 rubber straps on the sides, and you can load it with 1 in the chamber, 1 spare. You can go out to the field, make over 200 bales in 1 session, so that is pretty sweet as well. This thing is just so that the bale rolls onto it, it'll press it down, and then when it rolls off the back, it springs up and kind of pushes the bale a little further towards the back so that the door can close and be free or clear of that bale when it does shut. And for the rest, This looks pretty similar. I got the tractor. We're gonna be hooking up to this baler right in front of the shop here. I think it's gonna match it pretty good. It's our 2294 case. Pretty much the same color scheme, so that's gonna look pretty good in front of the baler, we think.
Good shape, I think, for the years. Picked it up in southern Alberta from Brad Jansen. Met me there. It's from his dad's estate. Looked like a nice fella. So we'll see how it works.
When did you decide you wanted a second baler?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Sick.
Really yesterday. And then Brent went on Kijiji and he happened to see this one, and we'll see if it was a good or a bad buy. Time will tell.
Gonna do a quick update on the feed mill setup. So the other day, me and Dad put that smaller mineral bin there. This morning, they put the spouting on for the 4 smaller bins here off of our tinier red and yellow grain leg. That's the grain leg that's gonna be fed by the hammer mill. So these are gonna be nice 4 commodity bins for hammer milled product. And they built an additional support for the really long spouting there. I guess that wasn't strong enough. So you can see on top of that one bin, there's a bit of extra bracing. Another cool thing they got done this week so far is they've been constructing the drag that goes underneath these bins, which is going to be feeding the hammer mill. So these are the 4 main storage bins to feed the hammer mill. So barley, corn, wheat, rye, potentially, you never know. Maybe these 3 will be full of barley at some point, but just gives you more options. But then this drag will take all that grain from these storage bins to the hammer mill, which should work out pretty nicely. It's pretty interesting to see this thing go down. I've never seen anything like it. So it'll just be like a bucket conveyor going through this drag, I guess, and pulling it to the hammer mill, dumping it in there. So they are gonna have to cut a hole in the side of this shed yet, and make sure that it feeds to the hammer mill. So yeah, the hammer mill is literally going to line up with the grain leg and that drag. You can see this thing has 2 levels. So on the top, I'm sure the drag will go towards the grain leg, or maybe on the bottom it'll go, I don't know. We'll see. Looks pretty sweet. They're getting pretty close, doing all the physical equipment placement. They still got to put that televator down there and 2 more bins, hang the augers off of the bins. But the end for that stuff is definitely in sight. And then it's just going to be a whole bunch of electrical work to wire in all the electrical motors and a bunch of sensors, a bunch of switches. Got to place that hammer mill in there yet as well, and get that thing going. So. And then there's going to be the fun part to transitioning between our current feed mill setup and going to this thing, because our hammer mill is going to be out of commission for a little while, and that's going to suck. It's going to be a bit of a growing pain, but we'll get through it. We've been out in the field now baling for a couple hours, and we started out baling and the bales were incredibly tough. The moisture was pretty high, and it was honestly borderline when we started. But really shortly after, things started to dry out. As soon as the sun comes out and heats everything up, really dries things off fast. So we're now in a completely different situation. The straw is too dry and it pulverizes inside of the baler. So the baler is constantly turning that bale around inside the chamber as it's being made. And as it's churning, it's always breaking off little bits of straw, and the smaller pieces are falling out of the baler. This is just something that happens with a baler. So these swaths are pretty light and they don't make a bale really quickly. So you start to lose straw almost as quick as you're putting it in. It takes forever to make a bale. But also what's happening with our baler specifically, I guess this is probably something to do with the New Holland here. It's building up where it's supposed to be applying that net wrap to the bale. So you can see there's a bit of a grate here right above the pickup, and that's to stop the straw from shooting too high up. But it's catching all on top here because it's falling out of the bale chamber as quickly as it is with as dry a straw as we're baling right now. So this is just really annoying because now every time I make a bale and I want to wrap it, I have to come out because it's not letting the net wrap go all the way down to the bale. It's blocked because of all the straw that's fell out of the chamber. This is pretty terrible. The stuff is now bone dry, and well, it really sucks. We still really struggled to get the wrap on that bale even after I unplugged it. This is our situation now. You guys can see how much I guess got pulverized and was spilled out of the baler while I was trying to get this thing wrapped. That all and that too. So this bale is supposed to be a 72-inch or 6-foot tall bale. So we definitely lost some height. It's kind of like, I don't know, we probably lost 3 or 4 inches out of this bale just while it was spinning in that chamber and attempting to extend that net wrap onto the bale. Well, that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.